can't believe you actually fell for a woman, Leon. Normally, it's the women falling for you. What's going on, everyone? It's the Niskel. Welcome back to Resident Evil 2. In the last episode, we found a very wounded Leon, and he made up a completely BS story to cover up for it. And in this episode, I have never done this before. Normally, this would be where Leon comes out during his two scenarios, and I was just curious to see if there was anything in here. Now, if this is completely null and void, I'll be sure to make a note of it, but it's already turning in my favor. I did go back and change out my items real quick. I don't need the grenade launcher or anything like that. Instead, this is all I need. And there are a lot of healing items over here. I love this room already. Maybe we should take some back to Leon. He clearly missed these, and they were in very plain sight. How could you miss all that green on all this gray? And I was wondering if there was something in there. So 3 green herbs and 15 handgun bullets, as well as a typewriter. I have no idea why you would use that typewriter when there was one from the room you came from, but I don't know. So it was worth my while to come over here. Now I'm curious. Can I go all the way back through the path that Leon took? I'm very curious, because if this one room had that many items, I wonder what the rest of the sewers and police station have. Let's go ahead and check. Let's see if Capcom hid some Easter eggs for the curious. Well, he hit a lot of zombies. Leon, how did you miss these? I mean, I know it's your first day on the job, but clearly you can identify zombies. So far, nothing much. This is where he and Ada met up again after defeating the boss. Let's see, is it going to be like the outside the Raccoon Police Department? Is it just going to stop me here? Oh, it's not! How far back can I go? I'm actually very curious. Of all the many times I've beaten this game, only in Claire's Scenario B do I decide to go outside the box and attempt to figure out if there are any secrets. I always loved games that, you know, if you go back to specific points in the game at a different point in the game, I don't know if I'm making any sense here. It's basically going backwards. They have a special secret for you. Wonderful 101 is a good current example of that. Like, if you move forward onto a checkpoint and then go backwards like 5 steps, you might find a hidden mission, that stuff. I really love it when a game does that. And in here, another typewriter, no ink ribbons though, but a blue herb, which will be very helpful. I'll go ahead and make a 3-herb mix, which I don't know if I've mentioned that. If you take one of every herb and mix them together, it makes a fully healing item, 100% health, and it heals poison. And the blue herb is the only thing that can heal poison in here. Not even first aid sprays can tackle that, and that's a 100% heal. I guess it's 99.9% if we're thinking about this. And the only reason they gave that to me is because giant spiders. This is why I never go in the sewers, because apparently there's giant spiders there. Brought to you by Umbrella, one of the many side effects of tampering with lettered viruses. Okay, so we came all the way back here to the kennel. Alright, I just wanted to see what was here. Go ahead and skip all that out, because it was really boring coming back. The only thing I did find out is that the bowgun can hit multiple targets. I should have mentioned that earlier. Go ahead and take the map here. And I'm not really sure why they give you such a detailed map when most of the time it's very straightforward. Like, this is not a complicated game as to where to go. I'll give that 1 to 3, because most of the time a map in a Resident Evil game, it does help sometimes when you have multiple keys, but we're done with the keys. So really there is no point to the maps anymore unless you look at it and you see like a hidden room. That's like the only reason that it would show up right now. And there we have the wolf medal and the first instance of a new grenade launcher round, the flame rounds. You are going to want these. You are going to want to save them, I should mention. We are going to need those flame rounds later. They are powerful. Not as good as napalm, but on specific enemies, they do wonders. So keep those in mind. And oh, look at that. Giant spiders. Again. I guess Raccoon City, it doesn't have a zombie problem. It just has a giant spider problem. And I hate spiders. I can handle shamblers, but not spiders. That's gross. I hate spiders. The only thing Raccoon City needed was Raid. Forget the tactical nuke that was dropped on the city. We just needed giant cans of Raid. Oh, ew, spiders. Oh, it's a good thing that wasn't in 3D, or else that would have been coming right at me, and I would have been out of here. So, the only way to pass through here, you need the two medals, the Wolf and the Eagle medal. For those who have played Resident Evil 1, those will seem very, very familiar. It's a lot of callbacks to previous games, and I like that. You can consider them Easter eggs, but it's just the creator's way of saying thanks for playing.
Are you alright? What happened?
Get away from me. You just want my husband's G sample, don't you? But no one will take that away from me. No one.
Husband? Then you must be Annette.
How did you?
We don't have time for that. Sherry is lost somewhere in the sewer system. I have to find her.
What? I told her to go to the police building. Why is she here? Now Sherry and the G-sample are both in danger.
What did she mean by that? Does Sherry have the G-sample?
Major plot twist. Maybe Sherry has the key to this entire thing. And I love Claire's process of elimination. The only other character we've met so far is a member of the Birkin family. So here we have Annette, currently unconscious, so we can't ask her anything. Yeah, that's kind of unfortunate. And I love how it combines all the elements from the A scenario for the B scenario. Like, she fell over the edge, and now she's just coming up from that disgusting acid water there. I'm surprised she didn't have more damage dealt to her. I don't know, I just really like that scene. It's like Annette would be the only one talking about the G sample and a husband having research to seal, and she's just utterly shocked when Claire knows the answer. Anyway, you do want to raise that platform because you're just doing one big loop all the way around, and eventually you'll end up there. So here, just got some flame rounds and another green herb. I love this. I just love when the game knows it's hard and hands you plenty of healing items, so use them sparingly. Maybe that makes the game too easy, but I don't know. I'd like for a game to leave me prepared than out in the dust. I'm saying that, and I haven't even played Demon Souls. Now, this entire place has no purpose in Claire's B scenario. It is literally just a straight shot all the way to the trash area. Maybe Sherry's in here. No, maybe it's the earlier concept of Resident Evil 6. That's why it turned out the way it did. Okay, I'm done bashing on Resident Evil 6. The only reason I and a lot of other people consider it kind of meh is because it copied Resident Evil 5 and in turn copied Resident Evil 4. And it was more action and a lot less horror. See, a lot of Resident Evil fans tend to go for the old style, which is this right here. And when it went to action, some of them took, some of them really hated the change. And I'm one of the ones that loved the change, but hated the fact that it kept going in that direction and turned into a giant explosion fest. That's the only reason I bash on it so much. I haven't even finished it, so I have really no room to talk. Oh, even more signs of zombieism. Irritation and sweat. Well, he could have just, like, run a mile or something. I don't know. After all he's done for this town, huh? Yeah, like taking the entire town with him into his evil torture dungeon. I still can't believe the chief had a torture dungeon. That was kind of hilarious. To serve and protect. Yeah. Umbrella loves sewer levels. It is now made fact from this document. Lose your job, more like lose your life, because that's what happened. Oh, actually, it looks like he was shot. That's kind of interesting. Well, judging by the blood on the floor, maybe somebody attacked him? And when he finally made it over to that section, somebody shot him? I'm putting on my detective cap here, trying to figure out what happened to that worker. Because based on how the body is positioned and all the blood, it might make an interesting side story. I'll have to make a Dark Side Chronicles 2. Find out what happened to the sewer workers. And another reason you wanted to bring the valve handle. About that valve handle, some items disappear after you use them a number of times, because the game knows it only has one purpose. I don't know. For those specific items that have one purpose, I kind of wish the other items would go away as a result. Because here in the B scenario, I kind of screwed myself out of 2 inventory slots. And I kind of wish key items would go away if I didn't need them anymore. That would be so helpful. And here we've made our complete circle around. The spiders are gone, somehow. Maybe they went to cast an 8-legged freaks. That movie sucked. And here's what I don't get. That's the only part of the sewers that has zombies, and then spiders. So it's just that one place where the corpses decide to just get back up and not have spiders. That's also something I've noticed. A lot of the enemies just... Hello, I'm here for my close-up. Spider bro, get out of the way. It's not your time to shine. But a lot of the enemy placement is decided on one enemy type being in one room. Which kind of interests me, and wow. What even happened there? Something might be chasing us again. I'd judge that by the background music. And, of course, the giant shake this entire underground place took. Don't think there's anything in here. Now, check this out. There is no reason for this part to be a cutscene, really.
Sherry, you're okay. Sherry, did your mom give you something called G-Virus? Either a vial or a test tube?
G-Virus? I've never heard of anything like that before.
Are you absolutely sure? If you give it to me, I'll hold on to it for safekeeping.
But I really don't have anything. It's the truth.
Why would her mom say something like that?
Because she is the creator of the G-Virus. William and Annette gave their scientific prowess to their daughter, and she made the virus. Or maybe it's in her locket, maybe. I don't know. It has its own physics, so it has to have some significance. And I'm glad they skipped that entire bit. We don't have to fight anything on the trolley this time. Trolley, cable car, I don't know. Now right here, this has some significance. This is a flare gun. If you had the lighter, you can shoot a flare, but we don't have that. Instead, come over here and check the ground about right here, and a weapon box key is here. The only reason you would need that flare gun is to figure out where that key is. If you don't have the lighter, just check right there, and it's still there. It's just so it shows up in your line of sight. And that's one of the really annoying things about Sherry. If you go too far away and she doesn't have time to catch up, she will stop. She doesn't even think to just, continue running because you are clearly in her field of vision. She just stops. So these short segments where you have to escort her to the next area kind of goes on for a long time if you just run straight ahead. Because Claire and Leon, they're fast. But Sherry, she moves half the speed of the adults. So, yeah, kind of annoying. Kind of one of the bad things about escort missions, which, surprisingly enough, happens in the even number Resident Evils. There is one specific thing back here for the B scenario for Claire. And it's on this body, tapping A everywhere, and it's not showing up. Where is it? There it is. And we can't carry it. Awesome. Darn it. Okay. I'm going to have to come back to this area. I don't want to use those green herbs. I will be using those later. So how about we just clear out this entire area and come back for that, because that is a really good weapon. And by the way, I don't know if you've noticed the special little details, but on the floor there are bloody footprints. Who could have possibly left those bloody footprints? Who did we recently massacre? Well, it couldn't be Leon, because by this point he might be dead. We never went back for him, actually. Well, maybe these guys. No, those feet are really big. It makes you wonder who has big feet in this universe. I don't know, maybe it's Annette. Let's see, there's another shambler down there. There's no zombie to my left. That's what I love about the targeting system. If you can't see down a hallway, just hold down the R button and Claire will auto-aim towards the closest zombie. And since there wasn't one to Claire's right, my left, she aimed for the one down the hall. And Sherry, you're not entirely helpless. I'm so glad you decided to come with. I didn't want to run back an entire hallway's length to come get you. And that should be it for our little escort mission. Up here is a very, very lovely room.
Sherry, wait here. I'm going to check it out by myself.
Okay, I'll wait here, but hurry back.
The only reason I love this room is because, 1, we get to drop off our items, 2, we get to drop off Sherry, and 3, it gives you so much free crap! I love it! Alright, so I don't need any of this. The weapon box key I won't need for a while. I am actually going to drop off a few things and go get what was down in these hallways. So I will be right back. And somehow we are climbing up a ladder, if I edit this correctly. The items down there in those 2 hallways, there were 3 of them. For one, the spark shot. Just like the submachine gun, it runs off percentages. But it is a giant voltage gun. We shoot electricity. And it has a range of 10 feet. It is a very long-ranged weapon. It shoots electricity. I have to mention that again because it's so cool. And it has a lot of ammunition. So this is a very powerful weapon. Be sure to pick it up. It takes 2 slots, but it's totally worth it. That's the equivalent of 1 handheld item and its ammo. So now to pick up the rest of this stuff, there's grenade rounds all over the place. There's a first aid spray here in this cabinet, which I won't be using. And this is just a great place to stock up and save. I love this room. I don't know if you can even say you love a specific room. Maybe it's the decorum, I don't know. Maybe it's the callback to Resident Evil 0 that's coming up soon. But, you know what I'm actually going to do? I have a lot of herbs in here that are not mixed together, so I'm going to go ahead and mix these up. Gonna get all my items straightened out, decide what I need to take next. I'm going to mix some herbs, so next time on Resident Evil 2, we are going to go ahead and move on and see if we can't find that key for that machine. So I'll see you guys next time.